Okay, so this is going to be more of a so this is going to be a shorter video. Okay, this is going to be a shorter video. As you can see from the title, I'm basically just going to be explaining how you can add around $3,000 or more in less than 2 weeks without getting any new clients for your BTC business. Now, my name is Steven. I'm the founder of Redtown Media, the best digital marketing agency in the world. So let's get into it. Now, the first thing that you want to do is find all your past customers' data. Okay, so it's important that you make sure it's customers that have already used your services before or have already purchased from you before. Okay, if you have, for whatever reason, if you have data from people who haven't bought from you yet, this isn't going to work with them. It can, but we're not trying to target them right now. We're specifically trying to target people who have already used your services. Okay, the reason why we do this is because it's easier to get somebody. The easiest person to sell to is somebody who's already bought from you once. All right, so this just takes away a lot of the friction that would come with trying to get somebody new onto buying your services. So now, after you find all their customer data, by customer data I specifically mean either their email or their phone number. If you can get both, great, but the main thing that I like to get is the SMS, the phone number, so that we can send them an SMS as opposed to an email. Now, after you get all the customer data, what you want to do is you want to find an ESP that allows you to also send SMS, right? ESP just stands for Email Service Provider. Now, I personally like to use Klaviyo. Klaviyo is my favorite one. You can send emails and you can also do SMS on that. If you use High Level, you can send SMS on High Level, but just find an ESP that allows you to do both because it's easier and you don't have to be paying for different subscriptions and things of that nature. You can even do this manually if you like, but that's just a little bit more difficult and I won't get into that in this video. So find an ESP that allows you to send SMS. Again, I really like to focus on SMS. It's just easier. After you do that, let's say you start using Klaviyo or MailChimp or something like that, figure out your incentive. And by incentive, I mean, what carrot are you going to dangle in front of them to make them want to come back and use your services? Okay, whether it is whether it's a discount, a promotion, maybe you're offering 20% off, maybe it's a specific holiday and you're offering some type of holiday sale, things of that nature. If it's just an offer, and if you're a little bit stingy, then you can just, it won't work as well, but you can also just tell them, hey, you haven't used our services in a while, why don't you come back? You can send them pictures of work that you've done, and then maybe that'll get them to come back. You can send them reviews of positive reviews from happy customers, and then that'll get them to come back. So whatever the incentive is, just find it, stick with it, use it. So let's say you're offering a 15% discount for whoever uses your services and whoever comes back. Then you just want to base your copy off of that incentive. Okay, if it's SMS, keep it short, sweet, just keep it simple, sound friendly. Okay, remember this is a text message. People aren't going to want to read paragraphs in their text message. Okay, just send them something short, sweet. Hey, put name here and insert name here. It's been a while since you used our services. We're offering 15% off for the next 20 days, the next 30 days, the next 10 days. Okay, you always want to make sure that you put a timetable on it to increase urgency. Because if you say we're offering 15% off, then people aren't necessarily going to, they're not going to feel like, oh, I have to do this now. So if you say, hey, for the next 48 hours, for the next 10 days, for the next week, we're offering 15% off if you come back and you use our painting services, or you buy our flowers, or you come in and you buy this and you buy that, or you get this service done, we trim your hedges. Whatever niche that you're in, whatever your business is in, you can find a way to make it work. Okay, so you get the data, get the incentive, base your copy off the incentive. If it's SMS, keep it short, simple, friendly. Now, when it comes to email is a little bit more difficult because it's easier to get somebody to read a text than it is to get somebody to open an email. A lot of people don't even really check their email, and then if you have already been sending SMS, or not SMS, if you already have been sending emails and your email deliverability is just trash, then there's a good chance they probably won't even see it because it's going to end up in spam, which is why I mentioned in the beginning, if you can only choose one, choose SMS. SMS is my favorite. That's just much easier. higher chance that they'll see it. But a good way to get them to even see your email, right? Let's say that you have good email deliverability and that it's not going to end up in the spam, is to make sure you use a subject line that pops out at them. Okay, so on the flip side, if you are already doing email marketing and your email health is just good, then chances are which subject lines work for your specific customer base, and you know which ones don't work, and you know which ones they'll respond to and which ones they won't respond to. So just figure out what will get the most attention for them. Try to keep it as short as simple in the subject line. That's obvious, because open rates are key here. If people don't open this, and if this fails, right, nobody opens this and no one interacts with your emails and no one even uses it, not only will people not be able to see it, but then it'll make number 6 useless, and I'll explain that later on. So after you do this, after you've collected the data, you found your ESP, you figured out your incentive, you created your copy, and then you figured out which platform you're going to use to send it. Now this is not the easy part, because you still have to fulfill services, but this is the easiest part of this process, where you just let the clients come back in, you let the clients give you a call, you write estimates, you provide services, you give whatever products that they ordered, if that's the type of business that you're in, and you just let the customers and the money roll in. Okay, and then you repeat this process every 4 months, right? Depending on the niche you're in, every 4 months, if it makes sense for you. Like, let's say you're a roofer, right? It probably won't make too much sense to do this every 4 months. Maybe for you it's once a year, once every 2 years, something like that. But if it's going to take you that much longer, at least you know that you have something in your back pocket. Okay, and you never know, right? Depending on in the area that you're in, maybe people need roofs fixed often. Or maybe you're going to play around with your discount and your promotion, and instead of offering it to them, you tell them, hey, if you refer us to somebody who might need a roof fixed, then the next time you need anything done, we'll give you a percentage off, or we'll give you a percentage of the money they pay us, right? There's a lot of different things that you can do here. But going back to number 6 and number 4, if you mess up on the email and people don't open the email and people kind of report you and things of that nature, what's going to happen is, like I mentioned, your deliverability is going to go to absolute. You're just going to ruin your deliverability. Your email health is going to go down the drain. And then when it's time for you to repeat it after the 4 months, maybe the first time it got in the main inbox, but because the health just went down the drain, when you try doing it that second time after that 4-month period, nobody's going to be able to see it. No one's going to be able to read your email, and then it's just useless. And you're going to wonder why something like this that's foolproof, why it isn't working. So again, I can't stress this enough, if you have to choose one, do SMS. Doing both is fantastic. If you can do both, do both. That way all bases are covered. But if you can only choose one, do SMS. If you want to save yourself the hassle of having to learn digital marketing and having to implement a bunch of new tactics like the ones that you learned from this video, feel free to click the link in the description, check out our website, see what we're about, book a call with me, and see how Red Town Media can help you and your business grow.